Hi everyone. So I've got a request from one of my relatives that she wants to know how we can cover under eye dark circles. And I want to do that because I want to educate everybody how it is done. But believe you me, only makeup can cover this much. What you need to do is look after your skin, which is very important. You need to sleep for 8 hours in order to avoid under eye bags and under eye dark circles. One needs to not cover your face with a blanket or a bed sheet or whatever quilt that you are using to cover yourself while using the AC to cover your face with that, because covering your face stops the oxygen from reaching that area because it's very sensitive and it's very thin. So you need to look after your under eye skin as well. You need to use a cut cold cucumber, cut potatoes that are kept, slices that are kept inside the fridge. You know, whatever our ancestors have recommended. हमारे बड़े बूढ़ों ने कहा है कि हमें करना चाहिए, वो हमें करना चाहिए. You have to really look after your under eye skin. You could also use tea bags, used tea bags, green tea bags, any tea bags that were used, get them in the fridge or freezer and then use them on your eyes to pamper your under eye skin. And use an under eye cream as you age, as you grow older, because that's important as well. And I use a lot of sunscreen. I use an under eye cream to look after my under eyes. And this entire glossy face right now is thanks to the moisturizer that I've used and on my skin. So that's why the gloss. But let's get started as to how do you cover your under eyes. Okay. So we makeup artists use krayolan. We have an entire Supra palette. The Supra palette, why? Because it's got a little bit of moisture in it. It's not dry. Now, I know it's difficult what color to choose. Only a makeup artist who has been educated in color and skin theory will understand what color to use for which under eye. So I would recommend, let's go with the universal color by krayolan. That's D32. Now this is D32. This is what it looks like. This is D32. Okay, you usually use D32 for the darkest kind of under eye dark circles. Now my dark circles are not that, I don't have dark circles, but if you have really bad under eye dark circles, go in for this. And if you're confused, I would say stick with this color D32. Now if you have dark circles and you need to cover it, pigmentation like I have on my skin over here, because I get burnt with the sun. I'm allergic to the sun. Even with sunscreen, SPF 40, 50, 90 doesn't help. It protects, but yeah. And let me show you what color I'm going to use. I'm going to use a light peach for my under eyes as a corrector. Okay, corrector is to basically reduce the magnitude of pigmentation that you have on your face. So I'm going to use this light peachy orangey color. It says 303. So you take the product on a flat brush like this, or you can also use your fingers. There is no problem. I would recommend use your fingers, but please see to it that your fingers are sanitized. You use a disinfectant, and in makeup, every product less is more. So don't use too much. There's no need to use too much. I'm just going to use very little, and I'm going to dab it, use dabbing motions to basically, like I said, to minimize the intensity of my pigmentation. You can do your eyes, wherever the pigmentation is really concentrated. Like for me, it's the areas that you can see the peach. People who have green nerves showing, who are very fair usually, they have their green nerves showing around their mouth area. They should use red lipstick to dab that on to their mouth area and then use a concealer. So I'm just going to come back to you after covering myself up with this. Since I am a makeup artist, I have all these sponges. So if you have a sponge or a beauty blender, damp the beauty blender and be very, very gentle. Like I said, this area under your eyes is very, very thin and very, very delicate, and it's the matter of your eyes, guys, so please be careful. This is how you use dabbing motion, and you cover it. You have to be so gentle. You don't have a sponge, that's alright. The sponge has to be clean, mind you. Fingers have to be clean, sanitized. You can use a sanitizer, wash your hands with a disinfectant, whatever you think is fine, and then gently dab with the ring finger because this finger has least amount of pressure. Please excuse my nails, I didn't get the time. It's all the BJK that I'm doing in the house. Bhartan Jaru Katka, which has caused this. So once you've minimized the intensity of your pigmentation, you have to go in for a corrector. And I prefer D4.5 because I have wheatish complexion. So I always choose D4.5, but since I don't have that right now, I'm going to make it for myself. So you can always use a concealer that suits your skin. And for me, it's D4.5 in the Krayolan palette. And whatever suits you, you can go ahead with that. Or you can use the color Chin, which I will show you right now. I've used it in my other videos as well. This is Chin. This is a universal color which can be used with D32. If you don't understand this, take help from any Maybelline, Revlon, or whichever brand concealer that you use. Please take help. The concealer always has to be 2 shades lighter to your skin tone, okay? So I'm using the shade 20 in Maybelline as a concealer. Yeah, this was shade 25 in Maybelline concealer. This is shade 20. As a makeup artist, you have to be as close to perfection as possible. So you need to understand the undertone of an individual skin, your client's skin, as well as your own skin. So I am going to, since I do not have D4.5 on me right now, and I know everybody's not going to have a Krayolan palette, Maybelline is something everybody uses and it's one of my favorite brands, guys. No, I'm not getting any royalty from this brand, but I genuinely love it because I love the mascaras, the waterproof mascara especially. It's when it says waterproof, it's actually waterproof. So I'm just going to use it at the same places that I have used my corrector, the peach corrector that I used. I'm just going to use it at the same places that I used it. And I'm going to try and cover it up the same way that I taught you how to use your corrector. I'm going to use the same thing. For your eyelids though, if you have a concealer for your eyelids, which I have by e.l.f., you can do that. Or when you do not have anything, you don't have a choice, what could you do? You just use the same one, like I'm going to do right now. And you cover it the same way. You want to use your fingers, use your clean sanitized fingers, or use the sponge, okay? Now I'm going to use a translucent powder. You can also use a banana powder, loose powder, whatever you have with you. And use a compact powder, use it on a fluffy brush. Dab the excess off. And just use the powder in gentle circular movements like this. Gentle. This takes a little bit of practice, guys, but it's okay. That's because I do not want my eyelids to crease because I have oily eyelids. My under eye area to crease. Even though I use a lot of creams and stuff, you will always have under eye lines. So in order to avoid that, you just go in round gentle movements, like I said, at the cost of, repeating myself. This area is really thin and very gentle. So please be gentle. Even while dabbing, please be very gentle. Just dab lightly. Believe you me, it works like magic. The lesser pressure, the better the product will give you the effect. So be gentle and patient. So the result will be good. So I couldn't find my PAC number 1.7 foundation. I don't know where it's gone. So always try and make do with what you've got. Do not get stressed, guys. If you've got a lot of makeup like I do, you should try and do what you can do with whatever you've got. So what I did was took my Krayolan illuminator. You get these in 3 colors. This is a rose gold color. You get one which is white, pearly, and one which is extremely goldy. I prefer this color because it suits our Indian skin. And I'm going to mix FS38 by Krayolan, the palette. Yeah. So you don't need to worry. There's always a way out. I'm going to mix this color and make a foundation for me. And I'm going to use it on a palette like this, which is again sanitized. So yeah, I know that this part of my T-zone looks whitish. That's because of the concealer, but once the foundation comes on, everything's gonna be okay. As you notice, we at Chirag Bambo's Magical Makeovers believe in keeping the person looking a little more enhanced than they actually are. They're very beautiful as they are. We do not believe in changing a person completely with makeup. We just enhance the beauty and the features. That's about it. That's what we're taught. So we try and keep our makeup as natural as possible. We do not make our clients or our, people who we do their or makeup on just to beautify them, not to make them look like drag queens. So what I did was, when I applied those two colors, I saw that my skin turned gray. So in order to nullify that and turn it into this golden glowy look, I used the color FS22. FS22 is what I used to make myself look like this. And I used it with the brush with very light movements. And then now I'm going to take my sponge again, dip it into the, what do you call it? Pan, pot, whatever you call this, refill, and you dab again with gentle hands and cover your entire face so that the lines of the brush can be raised. Makeup isn't easy. It's a lot of hard work. Next, I take this contour color. It's a cream base from the Krayolan palette. If you would like to use powder contour, cool, no problem. But you use powder contour after dabbing your face with loose powder. Everybody's been asking me, what is this new product? My friends and family have been asking me, what is this product by MAC, Makeup Revolution? These are all loose powders. You use them to set your foundation. So these are used to set your foundation, but I'm not going to use this right now. I'm going to use this after I'm done with this procedure and after I've applied liquid highlighter, because I prefer a high-end makeup today. This is what I want to show you, what we actually do for our clients. So this is what I'm going to show you today. We're actually going to use a cream contour and use it. Now my face doesn't need length. The idea is to make your face look oval. That's the reason why you use contour. I want to cover this part and make my jawline look chiseled. So I'm going to use that color here, like this. And since I do not need length, I'm going to use a straight line. I know that on YouTube videos, you've seen a lot of people use a slant line, but that's only for people who want to give their face length. Now my face is quite long already, so I'm not going to give it length. I'm just going to give it chisel. Just going to chisel the face like this. That's about it. Just give it a cut here and a cut here. I don't have a very large forehead, as you can see, so I don't need to use the color over here. If you have a very large forehead, use it as close as possible to the hairline and dab in this motion, like I taught you, dab, dab, dab. And then with the sponge, we are going to dab the product into our skin so that it looks as natural as possible. The same brush that I used for my foundation, I've dabbed a little bit of that product of the dark contour cream product on my brush, and with a very gentle hand I am going to use this brush. Like I said, if you don't have a sponge, you don't have anything that a makeup artist usually has, you can use your hands. But this procedure, I would request you all to have a beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, a sponge, a brush or two, and to invest into a brush or two wouldn't be an issue. You could invest into brushes from MAC. ProArt are cheaper but nicer, and if you have money, then you can invest into Sigma. They're the best brushes. However, my brush is ProArt and I'm quite happy. You go wrong. That was my phone, sorry guys. So I'm going to be very gentle and take it upwards. Very, very gentle. I don't have a mirror in front of me, therefore I'm using the Huda Beauty Palette mirror. I'm going to be very, very gentle while doing my makeup and working with this. You can see how light my hands are. This takes a little bit of practice. Not a little bit, actually, it took me 6 months. So, and then I'm going to use the sponge and dab this on to my skin. very, very gently, very, very gentle movement. So you can see the difference. I want you to see the difference on this side of my face and this side of my face. I'm going to do the same thing that I've done here, over here, and I'll come back, okay? Now to continue with the same brushes, I understand everybody does not have the amount of brushes I have. I know. That's not all. Actually, I have a lot more brushes and they keep coming. So I know everybody doesn't have that many brushes. I can continue with the amount of brushes I have. But no, I'm going to teach you how to make hay while the sun shines. Okay? So you're going to use the same brush that you use for your concealer. Dip it into the same color that I showed you for contour, the cream contour. And you're going to contour the part of your nose that you think is heavy. So according to me, I love this part of my nose because it's got a beautiful bridge. I love the bridge of my nose. I don't think that needs correction. But this part of my nose, that is this part of my nose, I feel it needs correction. So I'm going to correct this part, and this part. Now, just because you have contour, guys, doesn't mean you go on contouring your face like you see on YouTube videos, because everybody's face is different. Somebody has a box shape, somebody has a heart shape, somebody has a round face. So you have to contour your face accordingly, your nose accordingly, because we're all different and beautiful in our special way. So contour your face like the part that you want to chisel it, the part that you want to make your face look oval at, because like I said, I like to show my high cheekbones, but I want to chisel my my face right here. What do you call it? The double chin. That. And this part, so that my face looks oval, and this part of my nose, like I said, because I want to chisel this part of my nose, make it look more tapering, more thinner, however you would like to say, So I'm going to do the same thing over here, use my sponge, dip a little bit of that product onto here, and blend, blend, blend. You gotta do this. It's an exercise. Arms, arms. Right? So this is done. Now I'm going to use blush, and since I do not have a cream blush, I'm going to go with my darling 332. And I would recommend, if you don't have, I have a brush. I do have a brush to use my D32, but if you do not have a brush, I would recommend to use the same sponge. Dip it into the product. Again, your sponge has to be clean, guys. Smile. Now, because this is my face, I can use this sponge for my face. But if it was for a client, I would have probably used about 15 brushes until now. So you smile and let the blush go on there. Smile, let the blush go on there. Every makeup's different. If I would be doing red carpet right now, my blush would be on a different place on my face, and so would my contour. But I'm doing normal makeup today. I need a clean brush because now I'm going to use a highlighter, which is again from the Krayolan kit, the Krayolan Super Palette, which is ivory. And I'm going to highlight the part of my nose and my facial features that I absolutely love. Like, I love this part, I love this part. However, if you have open pores or saggy skin, do not use a highlighter there, guys. Use highlighter only on areas that do not have open pores or saggy skin. I love my Cupid's bow. I love this part of my face. And I'm not going to go anywhere below this. It's because I have a little bit of open pores. I'm not going to go below that. And I'm going to use a little bit here because I love the part above my eyebrows. Again, my trusted sponge came to the rescue. I have also highlighted on this area in a slanting motion with the same cream highlighter. I'm done with my cream contouring, blush, highlighting and foundation. I'm going to set this entire cream base now with powder, guys. So I'm going to use krayolan loose powder, and I'm going to set this stuff up. First I should find it. I'm using the krayolan powder. You can also use the Makeup Revolution banana powder that I showed you earlier, but I prefer krayolan because this is for makeup professionals and makeup artists. This is our holy grail product. You just take a little bit of it onto a powder brush, you dust it off like this gently. Like I said, makeup less is more, and you gently pat the product onto your face. Gentle, like I said, gentle. When you're done with this, you can just wear a little bit of lip gloss and kohl kajal in your eyes, and you can go out considering this as natural makeup. But if you're going for a party and you're going for a wedding, then we will go heavy with the eyeshadow and the lipstick. But I prefer heavy eyes, nude lip. So that's what I'm going to go in for today. I'm going to use this brush, which is a cut crease brush, and I'm going to make a crease with brown color. So I am going to use the Huda Beauty palette. Take the color Tease onto my brush, close my eyes and make a crease. Keep your eyes open and make a crease like this. This is your crease, where your eye opens, right here. Okay? Some of you may have deep set eyes, so you need to go a little bit higher. Some people have bigger space here, so you need to go a little higher. Once your crease is done, you take a lighter color, which I'm going to take Play. As I think makeup artists have already noticed, this is not the original palette because that's very, very expensive. So I found a fairly close dupe to the original. And I'm dabbing color on. Usually you should do the eyes first because that can avoid product falling onto your lower eyelid area, but I know how to dust it off. But if you would like to avoid that before doing your entire makeup, I would recommend you do the eyes first. I'm using a flat brush and dabbing the product on. It's an orange color. If I want glitter, I will always go on the focus area, that's the center of my eyes. Dab it gently. Go in with a dark brown, darkest brown that I have, or I'll go for thinking. I'm going in for these two colors for the outer corner of my eyes to make them look darker. Outer corner of my eyes to make them look darker. The last two shades, the last two colors on the Maybelline palette. Right here, the last two colors. These two colors, and I'm gonna gently dab it on to the corner of my eye with a slant like this. Gentle, just that. Just that. Gently dab and now color it. We just, like I said guys, this takes a little bit of practice. Guys, while I finished my eyes, I just did my lip. I used the Huda Beauty lip liner and I just dabbed on some pink color onto my lips. You can see the work done by my magical fingers. You always have to use your fingers to dab and give the best effect for your lips. So like I said, I prefer a nude lip when I do heavy eyes. So I've just gone with a little bit of pinkish lip. One thing that I wanted to show you was, in order to intensify the focus point, the focus area of my eyelid, I'm going to spray rose water. The reason why I say rose water and not a makeup fixer is because everybody does not have a makeup fixer at their house. So I'm going to use rose water, dip it in a little bit of gold, and I am going to take the color, dab it, and press it onto my lid and slide. Press it onto my lid and slide. Press it onto my lid and slide. That is the effect that it has on your focus point. If you can see, I'll move my hair. This is the effect. I've not blended it yet. This is just to show you the effect it has. Right? So I'm gonna blend it in. So difficult not to do this in front of a mirror. I'm going back to the same crease brush and I'm smoothing out the rough edges, whatever mistakes you've made, or you have to give it a final touch. You're gonna just go this way and smoothen out the edges with the same color because you want to give it one final look. You're gonna use the same brushes, the same color. And you're gonna intensify this thing because you used a light color, so I'm just gonna intensify it a little bit. Same colors, guys, nothing different. Just going over what I've already done. Repeat. Just intensify your eyes a little bit. Never forget your lower eyelid eye area. I'm gonna take the same dark color what I took on the crease and use it right here. Be very gentle because if you're going to go rough, if you're going to let the brush, be uncomfortable in any way, or you use the wrong movement, the powder could go into your eyes and that could irritate your eyes. So please be very, very gentle with this step. Very, very gentle. If you're in a hurry, I wouldn't recommend you do this step. Just use it all casual, spread out and go ahead. But with this step, you need to be very gentle and careful with your eyes. Please do not rush it. The powder can go into your eyes. Done. Now highlighter. I have a small fan brush to do my brow bone, but if you do not have that, use your pinky finger. I'm just going to use that with my brow bone to highlight that area. That's done. I'm going to highlight my brow. Anybody who enjoys highlight, go ahead, go crazy. But I don't prefer it that much, so I'm going to use the same on my nose. I love glitter, so on my nose, keep it low. Yeah, this is powder highlighter, guys. I use from Makeup Revolution and any other brand that you prefer. Be gentle with this as well. Using gold. We usually do this for brides, guys. In order for your makeup to last longer, we use cream contour, cream blush, cream highlighter, and then powder blush, powder contour, and powder highlight. So I'm going in for a blush, and I prefer orange because my skin is wheatish. So orangish, peachish are the colors for wheatish skin. It looks really nice. Even red looks good on darker skins. On dusky skins, red is your color. So you smile again and you put the blush on with a very gentle hand. My blush is done now. I'm going to use the same brush for my contour, powder contour. The blush is done. I'm going to use the same brush for my powder contour. If you like, you can wipe this brush on to a tissue paper before using it. I won't have the time, so I'm just going to do this. I would request you to kindly wipe the brush on a tissue paper gently in circular motions and then use it. I'm using powder contour from Makeup Revolution, the darkest color in brown that you know this. Whatever you've done with your brush, do the same again. That's done. I'm just going to apply eyeliner and mascara and come back to you, right? So guys, my eyeliner and my kajal and my eyelashes, I have used only a mascara, and I would prefer that if you use a waterproof mascara in case you're going for a wedding or you're a bride. I've also done my eyebrows. Now throughout the video you'll check it out that this part of my eyebrow is missing. I mean, hair is missing because while shaving that part of my eyebrow while cleaning it, I accidentally took off some hair from here. So with the help of a slant brush, I covered up with gentle mild strokes. I've shown it in my previous videos. Mild strokes. I just made a hairline right here, and then with the spoolie I brushed out my entire eyebrow. This eyebrow was perfect, so I just used a little color from my Maybelline eyeshadow palette. The last two colors over here in the palette, the dark brown and the grayish, I used for the eyebrow. And I made some light strokes, and I covered the part that does not have hair over here. So now to finish this entire makeup and set it. Now if you have a setting spray, great, by MAC, by Makeup Revolution, any brand, great. If you don't, rose water is just fine. I'm going to spray it from a distance and wait for it to dry. Do not squeeze your eyes, do not squeeze your face, because then your makeup is going to set in such a way that you will not be able to, you'll get all cracks on your face. So just keep your face straight and let it dry. The sooner it dries, you stand under a fan or whatever, but keep the face poke up. So this is the finished look, guys. Don't worry about eyeliners, eyeliner woes. It takes a lot of practice to get to eyeliners that look the same on both your eyes. And don't forget that each side of your face is a little different. If you must have noticed that somebody has smaller eyes on one side, like my right eye is a little bigger than my left. So you need to adjust that and work on it. But don't worry, with practice you'll be perfect. And this is my makeup for the day. I love to wear this makeup for parties, weddings, and keep it simple. If you would like to glam up this look, you can add glitter in the center from any of your palettes that you've got. You can again use rose water, mix it in a palette just like this. Mix the glitter into a palette just like this with the help of rose water and dab it on. And after that, spray the rose water onto your face, or if you have a makeup fixing spray, that's even better. But keep it less, and always remember less is more as far as makeup goes. Any more queries, any more questions that you have for me, I'd love to answer them. You have a lovely day. Bye!